About taxis, our last witnesses talked about no clear plan for taxis to get to the main Olympic venue, the Olympic Stadium at the moment. Particularly, I think, important for disabled people coming to the Games, where actually to go on the underground or other systems is not a suitable alternative. So what's actually happening with taxis and
so I'm sorry that the taxi trade representative was rather depreciatory about the whole thing. I haven't yet, in 11 years of being responsible for taxi licensing, managed to know how to make the taxi trade happy for a long period of time. But one of the things we are going to do is to give every taxi driver in London a handbook about how to access the venues, about what's going on with the road network. It isn't complete yet, and the reason it isn't complete is because it has to, the ODA are producing it, it has a lot of information in there from LOCOG, it has to be absolutely right, and I want to see it as the ultimate taxi licensing authority. And every licensed taxi driver in London will get accurate information about how to access the venues, about where the ranks are, because there will be ranks at Stratford. It is correct, they won't be in the Northern Transport Mall, that's because they'll be right next to it. They'll be in the Southern Transport Mall, and there'll be a rank outside Stratford Station as there is today. And those are all examples. Actually, that has been communicated to the LTDA because I told the General Secretary myself a fortnight ago. But it is difficult to communicate with the taxi trade because there are 25,000 individuals. So we will get every one of them a handbook with up-to-date and correct information about the road system during the Olympics and access to the venues, and in particular for those people who need door-to-door transport because of disabilities, because it's really important to us, as I'm sure it is to the organisers, that the trade can do its job properly. I also predict actually that those of the trade who don't go on holiday will actually do rather well out of London being absolutely full of visitors, and about people with disabilities who regard the taxi industry as their lifeline, and who, if they've got tickets, will want to go to the Games.
Well, it did seem from what we heard that the taxi industry feel very unloved. So is there anything else you can do to make this a bit better?
I think it's the best taxi industry in the world. Unfortunately, not every taxi driver feels unloved. When we've got this information to them individually, it is, to be fair to Richard and the LTDA and the other taxi organisations, they're very difficult to communicate with because they all are individuals and they all work in their own way, which is why we're going to get every single one of them the information that they need.
Good. Well, let's hope that starts to change the perceptions. Mr.